How's it going, everybody? It's PM Dre back with another video, and welcome to the Hardgainer Academy. This channel is focused on helping men who are ready to gain weight and build muscle. So let's talk. So in the last video, we talked about the closed grip bench press and skull crushers, my favorite exercise. But I got a question a while back, and I'm like, you know what? I want to make a video out of this. So here's the thing. Is it better to do skull crushers with dumbbells, or is it better to do skull crushers with a barbell? All right, so now we're going to get into it. So first, let's talk about the advantages of using a dumbbell. So when you're doing skull crushers with a dumbbell, one thing I like, you get to utilize a neutral grip. By utilizing a neutral grip, this is the most natural position that you can have for your wrist, the strongest of positions you can have. Because again, all you're doing, you grab the dumbbells, you hold them like this with a neutral grip, right? Grip them good, bring them back, and just lift them up forward, right? So that's what I really like about this exercise. The thing is, you do not have to have your wrist in a position where it is not in the best position. So whether you're using, let's say, an overhand grip like this, and you're bringing like the bar behind your head, or maybe you might want to use, again, like a reverse kind of grip where you hold with the palms facing you and bringing it like this, it's still not the most strongest position to put yourself in. So I really like you can use a neutral grip and utilize the natural movement. Secondly, one thing I love about the dumbbell skull crushers, and you know, I think this is huge, especially for beginners, right? It is a very easy way to set up. As you know, with the barbell, a lot of people do not do them correctly. And what I mean by this is either they have their elbows all the way out in front and they're letting the bar touch their nose or even touch their head, and don't bring it back behind the head. And also too, you gotta make sure you have good shoulders for you to do that. So the fact when you're using the dumbbells, it gives you that added flexibility of you bringing those elbows, and all you gotta do is bring those dumbbells back, right? Another benefit is the unilateral component. So let's say, for example, you want to isolate one side. Let's say, for example, you're weaker on your left. Then what you can do, you can just use the dumbbell. Again, you can alternate, right, from left to right, or you can just put one hand down and just do that, right? And that'll allow you to isolate one side of your body. And that's something you just cannot do with a barbell. And I think it's a pretty huge benefit, because a lot of people do say that, hey, I've been doing compound exercises and I feel like, you know what, one side is bigger than the other. I want to stop. And I'm like, no, you do not want to stop doing compound exercises. It should remain to be the centerpiece, but make sure that you have some unilateral movements in there as well. And if it's for your triceps, then dumbbell skull crushers are great. So now, I know what you're saying. They're like, yo, why are you even going to talk about barbells? You just beat it up in your last point. But you know, here's the thing. Here's one of the huge benefits of doing the barbell skull crushers. Number one, I rather you, like if you're watching this and you're thinking about doing it, it is the best thing to use an easy curl bar. I feel like when I use a barbell, I don't get the right range of motion. And again, and my wrists do not feel good. At least with the easy curl bar, it is not as bad. And why I say this, because it puts your wrist in a better position because of the grooves that are on the bar. So now let's just talk about the grips. We kind of touched on it quickly. So again, you can either have a grip where your palms are facing you, or you can have a grip where your palms are pretty much away from you. So this is either the reverse grip, right, or the pronated grip. And to be honest, like I mostly mess with the pronated grip. Doing the reverse grip, they say, puts a lot more emphasis on the long head of the tricep. And that's cool, but that's fine. But at the same time, you only can use so much weight. And again, when it comes to tension, especially when you're using a barbell and a dumbbell, right? It is not constant. Like, let's say, for example, you were going to use a cable. So this is why it is so important that you're not using a crazy amount of weight with the barbell. Yes, you can lift more, but you don't want to go too heavy, because then you just put the added stress on your wrist joints and on your elbow joints. And also too, you're very susceptible to using momentum. And we talk about this all the time. Momentum is not going to help you make gains unless you're doing cheat reps, but that's a whole other video. So now let's compare the two, right? So we know that we can use more weight with the barbell, right? And giving us that opportunity will give us the chance to build more strength. If we could build more strength, then we can build more muscle. So this is a really big crucial factor to using an easy curl bar, right? I'm saying barbell, but please use the easy curl bar for safety reasons, right? But with the dumbbells, we got the range of motion. It's easy for beginners. You could do unilateral movements, right? And also, as far as the weight is concerned, right, you want to be smart. You want to be able to do it so you can do it slow and controlled. You want to do it correctly. When you're doing supersets, let's say, for example, you might want to do a superset, or maybe you might want to do a drop set. You might want to do a tricep gauntlet of some sort. Dumbbells are so easy. The only thing is making sure that you can actually get your hands on the weight that you want to use. So now what you're saying, so Dre, what is the recommendation? What do you want us to do? All right, so if you want to hit all 3 heads, right, and put emphasis on that long head, you know what? You can use both. And here's how I use both. So the first thing that I do for 2 weeks, right, I'll use the easy curl bar. And then for 1 week, I'll switch on to dumbbells. 2 weeks on with the bar, right? 1 week on with the dumbbells. So what does this do? This makes sure that I'm utilizing the strength aspect of the Skullcrushers while eliminating any issues as far as if I have a muscular imbalance or if I'm having a strength imbalance. I'm making sure I'm getting my unilateral training. You could also do them both, right? So you can mix in Skullcrushers with the easy curl bar and the dumbbell in your training. I choose to do 2 weeks on and then 1 week doing the other. However you decide to do it, you got to do what works best for you. So I hope you found this video informative, and you know how we do. Hardgainers, salute. Peace out.